guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we're back with you for Agatha All Along, episode 7.
Last episode we saw the past of Billy/William Kaplan. William Kaplan first, who then died at a car crash when WandaVision ended, and then he was reborn as Billy Maximoff. We saw how difficult it was for him to adapt to his new life because he was surrounded by people he didn't know, in a room that was supposed to be his but that wasn't, and in a life that doesn't belong to him. He remembered his brother, kind of remembered a little bit about his life, but he had a hard time understanding what happened to him. So for 3 years he pretended to be Billy Kaplan until he went again, after Agatha to go on the road because he wants to find his brother, and now he's presented himself as Billy Maximoff. So we got our character, and Agatha's still alive. She talked to him, and they are not friends anymore, but they kind of agreed to work together in order to finish the road, although Billy will definitely keep an eye on Agatha, and he's saying he's got the power to go at it alone if he needs to, except right now he's tapped out. So
yeah, he doesn't know how to handle it right now.
Yeah, but for sure he doesn't trust her, so he did say, like, he's still the fanboy, but he's no longer, like, gonna be nice, right? For sure the other two are not dead. Even though, like, Jen's trial is done, we haven't seen Lilia's, so I think they're gonna come back, and I don't know why they think they're dead, just because we didn't see them.
I mean, they kind of disappeared, right?
So did Agatha, and she came back. So I'm gonna look forward to at least Lilia coming back for her trial, and I'm excited to see what it's gonna be about.
Alright.
So let's jump in this episode and find out. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
Alright, let's go!
Death's hand in mine. Oh, it's true that Rio disappeared too, and we haven't seen her since. We think she's dead.
Ah,
Lilia!
Okay, this is ominous.
Very. Is she falling in the mud to the next trial?
I'll get a nosebleed trying that hard to read my mind. You just can ask me your questions.
And you'll tell the truth.
Is Wanda Maximoff really dead?
Yes.
I don't know. They've been teasing a movie.
Maybe.
They don't even know themselves.
Did you see a body?
Yes, I did.
Did anybody else?
No.
It's hard to say. Hey, you want straight answers? Ask a straight lady.
Good answer.
That's different.
Ooh.
In my experience.
In your experience? I honestly believed your experience would be the key to our success here.
We're alive.
Yeah.
Success.
You're the only two here.
I wonder if you've ever been on the road at all.
I think she went and she knew what's the whole deal with the road.
But it was a theory that she might have lied about it.
There's that also, yeah.
Her reaction could mean she never went on the road. I don't know. Oh! Fabulous!
Nice!
Oh, she's based on me.
Prove it.
It's interesting that she's the Wicked Witch, though. With how, people don't understand her, and she might not be totally a villain and stuff.
But based on Wizard of Oz or based on Wicked? Not the same thing.
Path winds out of time. It's tarot. I know this, kind of.
And you need Lilia.
Yeah.
You should.
Time's it running.
I'll read for you, I guess.
Interesting that they gave him a Maleficent.
We can discuss this later, but he looks fabulous.
Oh.
I'll try another one.
Dude, be careful. Why is he doing this?
Because he said that he knew how to read tarot card, right?
Check.
But it's reversed. You're being truthful. Well, that can't be right.
You're gonna have to look beyond the anger, man.
My turn. Eeny, meeny, miny.
Be careful, girl. You are too much in your evil role.
This is a numbers game. We keep at it until we get the right cards in the right spots or the ceiling runs out of swords.
That will take forever.
Oh, we still have some time.
I don't think so.
There's a, oh shit. Okay, you can't cheat, you can cheat. But she's always escaping the truth.
Here.
Oh,
We need you.
I was falling.
they're alive. Nice.
You told me that they
King
were.
kicked us off the road.
The son of the Scarlet Witch kicked us off the road.
What?
Surprise!
How do you know? I told you.
Yeah.
From her point of view, like she keeps saying shit that happens in the future, but she's not aware of it, right? So
You're being extra wispy,
Wispy?
kooky.
Which is it? Am I wispy or am I kooky?
I love that they're doing this because I was afraid we were gonna forget it all.
Oh, nice.
Alice, don't try to save Agatha.
Don't try. Oh,
Lilia.
Now it all makes sense.
she saw it all, man.
Maestra,
When she was a child, she saw it all.
you are visiting. How long has it been?
Centuries.
Her power's intense.
I was bad at tea leaves.
This is a fiction you told yourself and tell yourself still.
Because it's true.
Maybe not. You don't believe in yourself?
What do you see, Lilia?
What do you-
Sinistros!
The Sinistros.
The Grim in English.
I haven't heard them since the subway station. I'm talking about the Salem 7.
I know that. You look at me and you see some doddering old broad.
Well, tell me what more I should see when I look at you.
Someone who's stuck in time periods.
The flow of time is an illusion, Jen. Most people don't realize that.
Okay.
When I was a child, I experienced my life out of sequence. Now it's happening again, and it's getting worse. Maybe because I'm close to the end.
Oh no.
Of the room.
Of her life.
Full powers returning.
I'm not so sure I want it.
Agatha! Did you not see imminent impalement in your future?
Oh, she must be so confused.
Are you okay?
Whoa! Ow! I thought we were cool. We are not cool, teenager.
Damn, using his full name.
Which witch? She's the one from Snow White.
Teenager. Dude, using the full name.
Aren't you furious?
I mean, always, but collectively, we moved on.
At your prompting.
The flow of time is an illusion, right? So trust me when I say you're not mad at the kid anymore.
She wouldn't know what she's been. Oh, this.
What are you wearing?
She's the witch from Snow
What am I
White.
wearing?
Glinda.
So demeaning.
Focus up, Calderu. We can be culturally offended later.
If she's the witch from Snow White, that means that she's covering her beauty and shit, and her whole thing is beauty.
Beauty and bad
Interesting.
potions also.
Are you the one who cast the sigil on me?
I saw what was going to happen to you that night. I saw who you were and who you would become. I knew you'd need time.
Which now he doesn't have.
Maybe no cards is as bad as the wrong ones.
You don't have time, so hurry up.
Yep.
What did I do wrong?
Make it stop! I wanted my car! I hated this the first time!
Her point of view is crazy.
Are you alright, Mel?
Stop.
Oh my god. I'm loving her more and more, though. This is sad.
Have you a coven?
Kinda.
God.
It's better to be a hermit, to be a fraud.
You're lying to yourself.
Please just tell me how to control what's happening.
Your task is not to control, but to see.
Maybe that's why she has having a hard time because she's trying to fight it.
Well,
You said this used to happen to you when you were younger. Why did it stop?
Because I wanted it to. I ignored it.
that you did it wrong then.
Because all I saw was death.
She's kind of like, what's her name? Cassandra?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is that?
Shelby.
Have some time.
Because she saw it before and she knew it.
Yeah.
I really love her power, but it sucks to be her.
She reminds me of the guy from Time Traveler's Wife.
A little bit.
Who massacred this spread? Who's the querent?
Me. I guess I'm the querent.
Now please ask your question.
Ask her how we're getting out of here.
The question must be vital to his journey on Earth.
I'd say it's pretty vital.
Lilia,
Shut up.
Just shut up.
Proper tarot takes time and care.
and leads to large gaping wounds.
Am I William or am I Billy?
Oh, nice.
We're doing it right, so it stops.
Who is he?
The first card is you, the traveler. Next comes what's missing. Here is the path behind. Here is the path ahead. Of course you will face obstacles, preceding a potential windfall. You must overcome all to reach your destination.
Okay.
What, must I remark?
You're doing your thing.
Pick a card. You are the
The
magician.
magician.
You have enormous potential.
Yeah, makes sense.
Very fitting. What's missing?
His brother, his identity, reunion.
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 How are we supposed to get it right when tarot is completely subjective?
Pick again.
Get off me!
Again, if we took this episode and re-edited it in another order, we would have the story.
I love you guys.
Oh my gosh.
What am I missing?
This is so interesting. What were you missing?
Where did he go? This is not the true reason.
You're lying to yourself.
I'm a forgotten woman.
Then remember yourself.
What's worth remembering? That you died? Our entire coven wiped out by a fever? I saw it, but it didn't change anything.
That's why she rejects her power. She's
For
Cassandra.
us all.
You say it like it's a comfort.
It's the one true thing.
I was falling.
Maybe that's her death.
I will fall.
What will you do with your remaining time?
So that means it happens this episode.
Jen, wake up. The son of the Scarlet Witch telepathically kicked us off the road. We sank beneath the surface. I can see all the pieces falling into place. The gaps are filling in.
Okay, which way do we go?
Look at the options.
Huh. Oh, the subway station.
Oh, but the 7 will be there. The Saddam 7 will be there, yeah.
The 7.
Again, so fucking creepy.
I love like they are tilting towards the backwards like this.
We don't need to worry about them right now. I'm going to take this path toward my trial. I hope you'll join me.
Why?
Because you are my sister in the craft.
Oh,
We need a coven. Anyway, we know she's gonna go with her because she was in the vision.
I know what I did wrong. My path winds out of time.
Oh, girl.
I am the traveler.
She refused to look at her future.
I am.
The Queen of Cups.
Now you see.
Everything is falling into
oh
place.
shit.
Intuitive. Inner voice to be trusted.
Yes, you're a mensch, Lilia.
Shut up, it's important.
Way of Pentacles. Collaboration. Singular voices waiting to harmonize.
Well,
I
Coven.
needed you. My coven.
yeah. Her past literally traumatized her so much she lost her way.
The Knight of Wands.
I really love this.
Healing,
For the fire.
protection.
Fights bravely. The path ahead. High Priestess.
All of them.
Oh shit.
Immense spiritual power. Unable or unwilling to use it. Obstacles. 3 of Swords.
Oh shit.
Sorrow.
Yeah.
It's so nice how they did this.
Her past, present, future, they're all
Oh, the
connected
tower.
with them.
Tower reversed.
Reverse, yeah.
It means miraculous transformation.
Coming into his own.
The destination.
Where are we going? She falls and dies.
Death.
She saw her.
Who is that?
Rio.
Don't you recognize me?
Oh shit. Yeah, death. Oh fuck.
Death.
D. Death.
Confirmation!
I mean, she was there with them.
roads lead to me.
Oh, girl. Looking crazy? Woo. But the revelation.
I love how they did Rio in her death outfit.
What happened?
Rio. She's death.
Ta-ta.
She's what?
The original Green Witch.
What can I say? I like the bad boys.
Quick, everyone in the Iron Maiden. When she calls you a coward, hit the deck.
What?
Go.
Hit the deck.
Oh, she saw something gonna happen.
I know.
So remember that then. So she knows.
Lilia, I loved being a witch.
Oh shit.
She saw herself falling. It's gonna happen. But she's facing it this time like a true fucking queen.
You may not know this about the road, but when you successfully complete a trial,
Like I just did.
There, she's gonna stop the Salem 7 so the others can go ahead.
It's not a good idea to overstay your welcome. Something terrible happens.
Destruction. Sudden upheaval. Like the Tower of Right.
Oh shit! And she's gonna fall through her death.
Well, there's nothing else she can do.
Shit.
I'm getting really emotional. Damn it! Fuck! Well, I grew to love her really much. You know, like, very much.
I really love how they did this one. The
this
way that
is-
he edited her life being in gaps, because
Yeah.
time is not a straightforward line, but
Not
it's
for her. I mean, for the others, it's their illusion, right? But she's not tricked by the illusion. This is probably my favorite episode of this season so far.
Yeah.
With how it's been done and how it made me like. My favorite character in this show so far is Teen, and Agatha is like right there with them because she's fucking cool. The others, I enjoyed them, but this episode made me love Lilia.
Because of the baggage that she brought?
Because of everything. How, like, to see life from her point of view is fucking confusing and tragic, because she would have been... Because people judge her, right? Like, they call her batshit crazy, they look at her and they see, like, someone who's completely lost, and her whole thing is divination, which is, like, ironic, but they judge her because of that, and when you look at it from her point of view, it's not that she's crazy, it's just that there's no fucking way she would make sense of what's going on, because her life is all over the place. We saw this episode from, like, in her, from her eyes, and it made sense eventually, but when you look at all the others, it doesn't.
I mean, when we saw it the first time, she was just telling me that she saw in the future, and we did not understand them.
It's kind of like
But now we do.
It's kind of like a Memento type of episode, right?
Yeah.
Where it's edited out of order, but for the character, it's edited in the right, way, right? So for her, this was how the episode happened, but for the others, it happened completely differently. And if we had seen it from their point of view, it wouldn't have made sense what she was saying. We were like, what the fuck? Where is this information coming from? I was saying before, because like people pointed out that she's the divination witch, right? Was. Everything she was saying was eventually gonna happen. And I was like, we probably will forget everything she said. And I'm like, it's sad, like we should have noted everything. I love that they brought it all back, because for us, it made sense of everything, and we remembered the stuff that we forgot, right? Like we got to see that. And yes, everything came together, but through this episode, we saw her confusion, how, like, since that was her life, she's like Cassandra, right? She saw stuff happen, but she could never stop it. She could never make sense of it. She lost her whole coven, which traumatized her in a way that led her to be, become a recluse.
An hermit, yeah.
And a hermit, yeah. She was alone all this time, afraid of getting close to other people, because she knew that all she sees is death all the time. So if she got close to people, she would probably, like, witness their deaths and not be able to stop it and end up alone again. So she was afraid of being hurt.
But now she did. I mean, she wasn't able to save her coven, like you said, but now she decided to accept her fate and stay behind to save her coven.
Her opinion of herself would have been bad. Like, every time she talks about witches and what they represent and stuff, like, she backed away from what made her happy, from how people would see her. She backed away from praise or whatever. Like, she said, I better go back to being like a hermit or whatever. Like, the way she saw herself was not a happy way, because I don't think she believed in herself, or I don't think she respected herself at all. But in this episode, her understanding that she finally, like, foresaw her death, and there was no fear in it, because death comes for us all. Rio kind of said it, right? I am every path leads to me. But I'm guessing it was her mother or her mentor or both.
I think it was her grandmother.
Or even if it was her grandmother, but still someone from her coven, someone from her family. And she was saying, like, this is the one true thing. You might not be sure of anything. Your thing is like the future, but every path leads to death. Like, this is the one thing you can be sure.
Eventually,
it comes from us all, for us all, right? Like, you don't have to be afraid of that. And when she understood that there was no being afraid of that, and she accepted her coven, she foresaw that everything related to her, all about like her past, future, present, it was her coven. It was not about her, it was about them. And so she gave her life for them so they could go on and have their future. It's just, I'm explaining it bad, but goddamn, it was a good episode. It's really sad.
But I think with what you just said, when she was younger, she was afraid of her own power, afraid of what it meant, and she wasn't able to save a coven back then. But now, since she accepted the fact that all roads lead to death, she accepted her fate that she will fall at the end. So she was able to face...
for the sake of her coven,
Yeah.
she let herself fall.
Yeah.
Because she could have left, but it would have been her again trying to escape what was certain. And in order for them to do their job, to do their thing, because she saw them, right? Like, they are the path ahead. They all represent a card, but it's all like... they're all around her, right? They are everything in her life. So for them, she needed to follow through with what she read in the cards.
But I find it interesting that said that as a witch, she was doubting herself a lot, or did not believe in what she was able to do over her own powers, and the fact that she was Glinda. Because I'm not sure if I'm correct.
I haven't seen
but
Wicked,
I know
by
that
the
in
way, so...
Wicked, Glinda isn't supposed to be that powerful of a witch. I mean, she has her issues and her problem, and pretty much all she has is the fact that she's able to socialize and people are flown to her and her personality. But as a witch, she's not that good at the beginning. So for Lilia to be Glinda and doubting her own self and her own powers is interesting.
It was fear. She faced her fear this episode, and she got through to this, and I think it's really sad, and I'm just it took us this episode to understand her character, and it's great. I think it's just sad that we needed to lose her. I didn't know we were gonna lose characters this season, but god damn it.
But I just said beginning that I was probably expecting the role to kill every single one of them,
Well, I don't
but
know.
not like this.
No, this was a sacrifice so they could,
Move
continue.
forward.
They all represent a card, which we can talk about this like right after, but she had a very confusing life, a very tragic life, and it all ended up making sense, and I'm glad for that. And I love that she spent the whole time we've known her, she's been rejecting the description of a witch. Like, that's what I was saying earlier, right? When she talked about herself, she kind of backed away from the definition of a witch. And now that I think about it, since her last words were, "I've enjoyed being a witch," it's kind of like she cursed the fact that she hated the fact that she was cursed with that power, and she pushed away her heritage because she refused to play into it, because all it brought was death. But since she accepted it in the end, she finally embraced what she was, and she said that she really enjoyed like who she was and what she was all this time, a witch. But it would have made sense why every time like you talk about a description of a witch and what a witch represents and what they're supposed to do, she was always the one being like oh my god, like this is demeaning or whatever. Instead of embracing it, she rejected it all this time, but in the end she accepted it. Her life came full circle, and in this case, literally.
What did you think about each persona as a Disney character? Like Agatha was...
but not necessarily Disney.
No, not Disney, but as a witch character. Like Agatha was Elphaba from Wicked, but the Wicked Witch of the West.
Well, that one I can't really talk about because, like I said, I haven't seen Wicked, so I don't know. And like even Wizard of Oz, like it's been a while, and I don't think I've ever seen the whole thing. So
I mean, from what I remember, if you only saw Wizard of Oz, she's the bad one. But if you've seen Wicked,
she's the bad one. Oh no, you mean Agatha the Green
Agatha
one?
the Green Witch. If you only seen Wizard of Oz, Agatha is the bad witch. Like she's the villain. But if you've seen Wicked,
that's the one.
She's not supposed to be like there's more to her than the the slam that people are feeling
know,
that
I know.
she's the bad witch, but she's not.
I mixed with Elphaba and Glinda, but Glinda I can't really talk about because she's the one I don't know. Wicked Witch of the West, though, I know a little bit. Like you said, it makes sense with Agatha because you would assume she's the villain of the story, right? Like you would assume she's the bad one because the things she does are bad and they go against the hero. But when you go beyond that, you see the past, you see where she comes from, her reasons for doing this. It makes me really interested into, in Agatha's backstory.
About what happened back then.
And her point of view.
How did she meet Rio also?
Yeah. And, because kind of like, when we look at Lilia from the other's point of view, she looks batshit crazy. But when we look at her life from her point of view, it all makes sense why she's acting like this. And she has no way of doing things differently. So Agatha could be the same. Like if we have an episode that shows us her past and what she's been through and her decisions from, why she made them. Not the lies. Because, Teen is asking questions, but you have no way of knowing if she's telling the truth because she's manipulating the people around. But literally, like, Lilia's card for her was the 3 swords.
Grief and
sorrow and all that. She is carrying a lot inside of her, kind of like Elphaba has a past and her reason, like her sister's dead and all that shit, right? That's the one thing I know about Wicked, part 2. But still, like, there is so much that we don't know about Agatha, and so judging her based on what she's been doing is one thing, but in order to see the whole picture, we need to look at her past. So hopefully we get that. Teen, when you talked about the dragon, I'll go like with Maleficent as a character. Could be about his future too. He's gonna be this super fucking powerful wizard, and people could look at him and be afraid of his potential, his power. But if you look at Maleficent from like the live action point of view,
someone who has been wrong,
someone who's been wrong, but also someone who has potential for good, depending on like, because Maleficent, if you look at it like from her side of things, she was rejected because of who she was, not necessarily because she was evil, although she is. So I'm looking at it in this way. Maybe Teen in his future, Billy will be judged based on his power because he's the son of the Scarlet Witch. They will assume things. And they won't really see the real person.
Because of what his mother did?
Yeah, maybe. Because they will judge. So I'm thinking this is how he relates to Maleficent, right? Like he has this huge potential and he is going to be really strong. But because of that, people will probably end up judging him. And there's a potential for villainy maybe behind that. So hopefully he'll be on our side. I don't think he's a villain. But
it all depends which one's gonna get, the animated version or the live action version.
But then again, like Wanda was also towing that line between villain and hero, right? She was a hero for a while, but she started off a villain, and then later on she turned into a villain, even though her reasons were justified to her. So we'll look out for that. But Billy and his character really intrigue me in a good way. So I'm kind of like Lilia said, he has a very like crazy future in front of him. He has a huge potential. So we'll see what he does with it. But and then you got
Jennifer as the witch from Snow White.
And her card, Teen's card was what? The Tower reversed. So
Tower reversed,
huge change, huge potential. So it fits into what we said. Jen, the witch could be the one that is so focused on her beauty, but then like the witch from Snow White, I assume like she was so focused on her beauty, but inside she was ugly, right? And when she turned herself to go like poison Snow White, her true self showed up, and it was like the old ugly person. But I don't see that in Jen, so it could just be that she was that witch because her whole thing is beauty, right? Kind of like she hides her true self behind the facade of like, as long as I'm beautiful, right? As long as I present myself well, people won't look beyond that into who I am. It could be also how she sees herself. We saw a bit of her past, how she was manipulated and then someone tried to kill her and stuff because of who she was. She could be hiding who she is because she is afraid of being judged in that way. And she's hiding behind the mask of beauty and shit. It could be her own interpretation of who she is inside. She might think that this is what she looks like, so she needs to present in a good light so that people don't see the ugliness. But I don't think she's
Oh,
ugly.
you think that maybe she did some wrong things in the past and she's trying to...
Or it could just be like if they view her that way, she ended up viewing herself that way. But her card was the priestess. I think that
High priestess.
the high priestess. I don't really remember what she said about what the card was.
Rewind then.
Okay, so I
okay.
would think that Jen, if she allowed herself, because if she was almost killed because of her power, she could. Because like now she wants it back. Her power was taken away, but maybe it wasn't really taken away. Maybe she had access to it all this time.
She's refraining herself from using it.
She has the potential and she has access to it, but maybe because she's afraid of once again being judged and once again being punished for it, she's not allowing herself to reach it. But the path ahead being high priestess could mean that if she deals with that trauma, deals with that insecurity, she could become come into her own and become this being.
I love the fact that she's saying immense spiritual power, unable or unwilling to use it.
Well, they have been blocked.
At the beginning, Jennifer said that her power had been blocked, but are they, or is she unconsciously blocking herself from using it?
Maybe they were.
She could use it all along.
Yeah, maybe they were blocked, but now they are available and she's just not letting herself do it because she's afraid. So that could be, and the path ahead meaning that, the road is right there. You just need to follow it, right? Believe in yourself. And we're not through with her backstory. So we'll see. And Rio, meaning like the future, everything leads to death. But we got the revelation this episode.
Yeah, but speaking about Rio, that we got confirmed and she looked badass.
But they all looked like their card. That was the point. Like all the symbolism were there. So for her, in that moment, she looked like the card. But I wonder what her true costume will be. And again, how that will impact everything else. Because introducing a character like Death in the MCU is huge.
Technically, I know that in the MCU, there is the character Death from Deadpool. And I know what Death is supposed to look like. Badass, by the way. But I don't know if they're gonna be inspired by how she's supposed to look like for the show or just go with their own interpretation.
They'll probably go with their interpretation because it's never like a copy of the comics, but it's usually very close still. Like color patterns, design like similar to what it was in the comics, but with a touch of modern style. So we'll see. But in that moment, they made her look like the card. So if it ends up being her costume, that's cool too. But that we saw it coming because all signs pointed towards her being dead. But I'm glad that this is true because it adds a lot of
meaning,
intensity to the story. Like to have Death around. Well, what is she gonna do? Who is she gonna influence? And I mean, Death is not taking sides. But then now Rio, who we found out his an ex of Agatha, so she can interact with characters, she can have relationships with characters, and she can actively do stuff, like even though she's not like participating in the trials per se, she's still around. So her being a character makes it very interesting, and that means that they're not afraid of introducing like bigger like villains in the future or bigger players. So I'm very, very happy that we were right about this. But again, Lilia, man, this episode made me love her and feel really bad for her. And, I was sad when we lost Alice. But this time I was almost crying, man. Like, tears went up and I was like, oh, shit, I can cry makeup.
But it is more because Alice saved Agatha and ended up being dead because of it. But she chose to sacrifice herself to save all of them.
Because every path in her life, every card surrounding her was them. They were her whole fucking focus in this point, so she needed to do this for them. It's really sad. Farewell, girl, you were fucking badass in the end. But, and not only did she she killed herself, but man, she took out the Salem 7.
She did.
I don't know if they're dead, but
I think they're dead.
Because they are something else, but at the very least, she stopped them, and this is, girl. Whew.
But once again, it is really cool seeing someone who is a master at their craft. I mean, when we saw Jennifer with the potion, when we saw Alice with the protection spell, and now we saw Lilia with the tarot card when she was reading and using her interpretation skills. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just cool to see.
Yeah. So now we're missing, unless Teen ends up having a trial.
I'm guessing every one of them will have a trial.
Because, like, there's only 2 episodes left. So do we have a trial next episode? And if so, yes, it's gonna be Teen. But then we need to still deal with the Agatha past and Jen past situation. And then we need to get to the end of the road, so...
And there's only 2 episodes left.
I know. So we'll see what happens, but I'm very excited. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if not, the next one should be out pretty soon on YouTube.
Yes.
So keep an eye for it. I'm gonna see you then, guys.
Bye.